Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Tuesday, September 8th, 2020. It is about 6:30 at night right now. I did not do a video earlier today, so had some running around that I had to take care of, so just one video today. But I wanted to talk about a couple different things. But the first one I want to talk about, a young man in Utah was 13. His mother had just started a new job. The young man, and these ones are always going to be close to my heart, guys, just so you know. So the young man had a lot of separation anxiety. So the mother calls the police, and she says, my 13-year-old son has a lot of separation anxieties. He has autism, and so he yells and screams and jumps around, but he's not a danger. He is not armed. And so the police had gone in there, and they ended up shooting this boy several times, which, again, it's one of those things that was always one of my big concerns when it came to Eddie, with Eddie being autistic and, police not being trained properly on how to deal with adults and children with autism. They don't know how to handle that. Normally, let's talk about it realistically. Normally, a police officer, they tell you, get on the ground, put your hands on your head, get on the ground, or whatever the case may be. Most Americans are going to do that because, that's, you want to decelerate the situation. You don't want to get things going even more. So, but with autistic kids, they don't have that thought process and I hate to say normal, but their brains are wired differently, okay? And I'm going to use Eddie as an example. When Eddie reaches a certain level, okay, there's only two people that can bring Eddie down from that level, and we're lucky if we can we try to get him before he hits a certain level. That's the reality of it. But when Eddie would start to accelerate, you would have to try to bring him down as quickly as you possibly could. Yelling and screaming at him and giving him commands would never work. That would never work, okay? So the police are used to being obeyed, and when they're not obeyed, then they do whatever they do, okay? And I get it, because like I said, again, this is not like, please don't think that this is like an anti-police video, but it's just, they don't know how to deal with these kids. And, as a parent, like I said, of a child with autism, realistically, there's only two people that really knew Eddie, that knew how to deal with Eddie, with his idiosyncrasies and, his triggers and what would set him off and stuff like that. When Eddie's in a full-blown, I like to call them episodes. When Eddie was in a full-blown episode, you weren't bringing him down. You just had to ride the storm, okay? And so and I'm going to tell you what, you want to talk, here's something I want you guys to think about, okay? And a lot of you can absolutely relate if anybody knows anybody that has somebody in their family with autism, or you have an autistic child yourself, you can relate to what I'm about to say 100%, okay? When you have a child that has cancer, and the child's diagnosed with cancer, everybody comes around. What can we do to help? Oh my God, this is horrible. This is a terrible situation. And, what can we do? What can we do to help that situation? When you have a child with autism, your friends stay away. Your family stays away. The divorce rate with children with autism is 95%. It's ridiculously high because it's a very stressful situation. When people don't know how to deal with a situation, they tend to disappear, especially with autism. They're uncomfortable. It makes them uncomfortable, so they disappear. And so that happens quite a bit. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And, but that's the difference between, how people deal with things. And again, like I said, the divorce rate is 95%. My ex and I are divorced, obviously, and, that did play a factor into it. There was other things as well, but that did play a factor into it as well. Having that child with special needs, it's not easy. It's not easy, and you know, it takes a lot of hard work, and you have to figure out. Like I said, Eddie made me a better father. I will always say that. Um, he taught me to deal with situations more calmly. You know, not to get upset, because when I would get upset, if he was upset, it just accelerated him even more. So I had to learn to be calmer. Okay, and the thing is, police don't know that. They don't understand that, and it's not, you know, I'm not faulting the police. It's just that they have not been trained properly on how to deal with somebody with autism, that you have to be calm, or, you know, calm. A lot of times autistic kids don't like being touched, and they're going to freak when you try to put your hands on them. Okay, you know, it's just it's too much for them. It's too much for them. And so it's unfortunate, and it does happen. But so anyway, the young man did survive, but you know, it's a situation that with proper training and knowing how to deal with that situation, that, you know, instead of going in there all like, you know, I'm a tough guy and you're going to do what I say, that's not going to work. So learning how to figure that out, and know how to deal with that, and like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy, and it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of patience. You know, and some people can do it and some people can't. That's the reality. That is the reality of that. And so you know, it's a very, very sad situation. You know, and I think, you know, we have a whole generation of kids coming up with autism. That, and the worst part is, guys, and realistically, this is the worst part. No two cases of autism are exactly the same. So you can't fit them in a cookie cutter box and say, well, this is how autistic kids act. Now, there may be no eye contact. They won't look at you. That's pretty common, okay? Sometimes they don't like to be touched. You know, they're only comfortable in their surroundings that they're familiar with. They don't like change. They like routine. So there's a lot of things that are pretty much, you know, you can say, okay, well, this, and this, and this. This is how a lot of these autistic kids are going to act. But you're going to have these kids from realistically having a helmet on, banging their head against a wall nonverbal, to your Asperger kids, who are brilliant, brilliant children. You know, they're just not good in social settings. They don't like big crowds. They don't want to be around a whole bunch of people. And so, you know, those are things that people don't think about, you know. And but it's just, so this video ended up being about autism. I was going to talk about something else, but I think that this is important, and I wanted to bring this up, and I wanted to address this. When my son was born, and he was born in 2001, 1 in 168 kids had autism. Now, I think it's down to like 1 in 32 or something like that. I know it's a lot more frequent now. But the point I'm making is we have a whole generation of these young men and young ladies coming up with autism. And again, not any one of them is, you know, they're all unique. They all have their own idiosyncrasies, or all have their own thing. You know, but it's like dealing with them needs to be done, and especially if they're agitated, in a calm manner, in trying to decelerate the situation and not accelerate it. Because as soon as you come in there thinking that you can use your standard techniques as a police officer that you're used to using on the average citizen, that's not going to work. So, you know, I wanted to talk about this, and again, this is not a slam against those police officers that went in there. You know, they didn't know what they were walking into. They didn't know how to handle that type of a situation. So I think that is something that, you know, everybody wants to talk about defunding the police. How about retraining for certain situations? How to deal with certain situations. So if you get the call, and maybe you have, you know, police officers that are specially trained, that if you get the call, we're dealing with an autistic young man or a young woman, and they have these issues, how do we deal with that? How do we, you know, so you send in the specialized team that are trained just for that type of a situation. I mean, you know, that's an option. So, you know, because again, we're going to have more and more of these kids growing up. They're going to have issues. A lot of times they're going to be in single-family homes. Again, 95% divorce rate, so not a lot of the times are the parents together, okay? And again, very high stress. Maybe mom can't deal with the son anymore because he's gotten too big and he's physically stronger than her, and she can't deal with that, you know? So again, how do you deal with it? You know, they're calling the police because they're asking for help, not for the police to come and shoot their children. Okay, so again, just I think it's something that needs to be addressed, needs to be worked on and stuff like that. Egg count today, we ended up with 8 eggs today with the girls. Thick Neck did not lay today. She was very lazy today, but she's laid the last couple days in a row, so I guess she decided she wanted to take a day off. Yeah, so that's kind of what's happening here today. But I saw this and I wanted to address this article. You know, and again, I think it's a tragic situation. And again, it doesn't come down to, oh, these horrible, terrible police officers. No, I just think it's lack of training. That's my opinion. All right, so I'd like to hear your feedback on this. Please like, comment, and share the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon as well to get all notifications for future videos. But, you know, things have to be handled differently than they've been being handled. And, you know, and that goes across the board. And, you know, and again, a lot of that is when you have quote-unquote normal people acting stupid with the police and then wonder why things happen the way that they happen. You wonder, right? So anyway, I don't know, interesting times that we live in now. Very, very interesting. So, but I don't think that my 2 peach trees up here made, or not, no, these are the peach trees. Peach trees are okay. I don't think that my 2 cherry trees made it that I put in this year. So we'll have to see what happens if they come. I'll wait till the spring and see if they sprout. Sometimes they'll sprout again, you know, in the spring, and they do better. So we'll see what happens. But I will give it a shot and go from there. But anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here from now. I have some other things that I have to do, and I want to get this video up for you. Remember, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. Life is so short and it's so precious. It's really important to tell the people that you care about every day how you feel. Also remember, guys, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to accomplish, whatever you are trying to do, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from reaching those goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right? I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.